Maybe some kind of, not like privileges, but exceptions can be made. I don't know, they can find solutions if they really want to us. Maybe they can, give visa to some kind of people. I don't know. Yeah.
So is that like? Does anybody else agree? Is it the mobility thing that's the big plus, or are there other aspects?
And also, Court of Justice is the big plus.
Yeah. Okay.
Because already we have difficulties in law. Justice. We have difficulties in justice thing in Europe, in Turkey, especially these 2 years. We have really not going the right way, as right in quotations. It's my right. So I'm very, very, how can I say, more and more people day by day taking the cases in the Turkey to European Court of Human Rights. Yeah. So the justice thing will also be good. No, this is just for the no. This is the right one.
I'd have to disagree with a couple of points that you say. Firstly, about the regional disparities. I mean, portraying the East as backwards and uncivilized is very orientalizing, I think, and it's just what Europe is doing to Turkey right now. So I would have to disagree with that point. Yes, there is infrastructural disparity concerning economics or state services, proper education, but these people are still highly politicized, and they do have opinion about whether they want to be included in the EU or not, and they do know where Turkey is normally. And most of the people in the East do want to enter the EU, mostly on economic reasons and also regarding minority issues, because they will acquire more rights, more human rights, more cultural rights, so to speak. But I would think the common man is, like Meltem just said, Turkey is a highly conservative and nationalistic population. And so concerns regarding greater human rights, greater freedoms, I don't think, yes, everyone is complaining, but I don't think that would constitute priority in the list. I think economic reasons, equal distribution, employment, a stable economy and inflation rates, these are what is being in the table now. So this is what I think, this is my opinion, this is what people are mainly concerned about. Yes, a small group maybe in the Turkish population, a more elite group who are more concerned about liberal rights and more justice, but yeah, I think that constitutes a small part of the population.
So the main concern for most Turks would still be the economic interests and
I would think so. This is a fact. But when you consider voting, considerations of economy tops the highest. And even if you think that Turkey is, there's highly ideological cleavages like Islamic secular, Turkish Kurdish. The economic considerations, it's above all these other ideological considerations.
And also we think the unemployment is due to, it's bound to European Union. For example, if we go into European Union, we will find more employment, something like that.
Yeah.
And to clarify an issue, when I say I don't know where they know Turkey is, there are villages and they're very small and there are really many uneducated people there. So I really do not think that when you give a map, I don't know, maybe just think the villages, not the cities, not the city center.
But what do you mean? Do you think the villages in Germany are any different? Would they spot Turkey on the map?
But no, but we're not
I mean,
comparing.
it's a very orientalistic point of view. Come on.
Yeah, I know it. But you know, we watch the videos on the, you know, the social network sites, and they interview people. Do you know where Turkey is, or do you know the borders? And they don't know. They really don't know. I know there are many people in USA that they cannot even find. Maybe you watched it, and in a video they ask, "Tell me a country starting with U," and they say Uruguay. You know, Uruguay, and they couldn't say US, and many of them couldn't say any place. So we have this kind of people everywhere. But in case of Turkey, when we think about Turkey, I'm talking just for Turkey. Well, this is really the case, so we cannot.
Or I think sorry guys, I'm Mr. Kozak, one of the faculty who teaches this class. So I'm not sure if we can draw like such a concrete line between the rural and urban population in Turkey, within Turkey, with respect to the level of education. And I'm not sure if, let's say, the urban population is, you know, very highly educated, but the rural population is not highly educated, or it's, you know, it's education is a general problem in Turkey, and it's you know, Turkish students do really badly at the international exams in general, and these are students from sort of average high schools in Istanbul, and from the like best neighborhoods in Istanbul. I'm talking about especially public schools. It's so I'm not sure if there is such a striking line between the villages and the cities, for that matter, or the east and the west, for that matter.
You're very right, but what I mean is the quality of education is something different. In my opinion, the opportunity of education is something different. So, you know, there are very serious campaigns going on in eastern part of Turkey. Let's take girls to school, let's take women, the moms to school, let's teach them how to ride. You know, in urban areas, I'm not solely talking about Istanbul, like Izmir, Ankara, one of the biggest other cities in Turkey. The education rate is smaller because everybody goes to school, but I really
are you sure?
Not everybody, but you know, the percentage is just too small. You know, when you compare it, not in Istanbul, when you compare it in Ankara, in Izmir, maybe the percentage is 5 people in 100, but in the west, in the east, it's 10 or 15. You know, but I really approve your remark. The quality of education is not discussable. It's changes from, maybe in the eastern part they receive better education than we do in the west, because the teachers going there is going from west, or I don't know, for me I don't care, but maybe they receive better education. But in the west, the chance to get education, the chance to go to university is much more higher than in the east, isn't it? I think so. The chance to reach education is, there's a chance, you use it or you don't. It's up to your choice. But in the east, there is limited chance. And there's limited, how do you say, admiration. You have to show the little girl or boy what you will be if you get educated and what you will be if you are not. So you have to have a role model in front of you to, you know, this is admiration. I don't know the exact English word. No, it didn't come to my mind.
Role model, kind of?
Özellikle in English, in Turkish, but...
Yeah. I think it's very interesting that when we talk about EU accession, the discussion seems to shift very quickly towards regional disparities within Turkey itself as a sort of something that conditions the sort of EU accession discussion as well. Do you imagine that EU accession would greatly improve the regional disparities in Turkey through, for example, the fundings, the different regions and that sort of thing?
I want to make a remark before we get to this topic. When I say east and west, I don't draw like, you know, from Ankara to west, it is west, and from this to east. I never do that. It's Turkey. It's east or west, it's Turkey. It's from the southern border to northern border, or western to eastern border, it's Turkey. I do not even divide even think of it is not possible for me.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you cannot really deny. That's why I'm calling East and West.
Okay.
And to your question, I don't know, anyone, do you think that Europe will sort of improve East? Yeah, to a certain extent, maybe.
Who knows, it is a bit of a hypothetical.
But we just learned from the lecture that Turkey is the sixth largest economy in Europe. And don't you think that it is just a popular belief that the EU will come and bring better quality of life to the don't you think that maybe Turkey should create its own policies of distribution?
At least working conditions would improve. I think that's what common people are looking for. For instance, better average of minimum wage, or better, a greater emphasis on workers' rights, for instance. And of course, the issue of distribution is very important. There's still a high average of unemployment going on. University graduate, this is a very common public that people say all the time. It's like even university graduates cannot find any jobs. So
you have to have an uncle, to get that. Yes, good job. But this is the case in most of the countries that I know. So
meritocracy is not valued much. That's another problem. Like you said, people, people around you, people find jobs through relatives or through friends or someone's uncle who's a manager of some firm.
For example, I want to give an example. A friend of mine has applied for a job in a company, and he has applied for 3 times, I guess. He couldn't get the job, and we don't know whether somebody get the job or not. But a teacher of his, not knowingly, recommended for the same job, and he get the job now. But he applied 3 times, he couldn't. With a recommendation, he can. This is out of our topic, but just giving something about how relatives influence.
My interruption, I'm from China. Just now you mentioned that the employment or job seeking. Now, so far as I'm concerned, because Turkey is